Hi and welcome. This is How to Build a Creative Business. I am your host, Ali Hart. I am an artist and a businesswoman. And on this podcast, we unravel the ins and the outs of what it really means in 2022 to bring your creative practice and your business mind all in one so that you're the best version of you. I really hope you enjoy the episode. Hi everyone, welcome. It is really good to have you. It is, what day is this? Tuesday. I like to record on a Tuesday. I hope that it finds you well, that you're really having a good day, a good morning. Enjoy your cup of coffee. We just got new beans from Root and Branch, who I love. They are in Belfast and they roast their own coffee. And last week when I was in getting the big bag of coffee, which is a real treat for me and my husband. This is not an ad, by the way. But it's sounding like an ad, isn't it? Maybe they'll sponsor me. Hi, Simon. Maybe you listen to my podcast. Anyway, I was in there and they had the people up from Dublin who are opening a coffee shop and they were all testing samples. And I thought, aren't I just the hipster? Anyway, I love coffee. If you're having coffee, I love coffee. Like it's really nice coffee like that. It's meant to be a Snickers, which is the peanutty caramel chocolate that we all would have had before there was a million other ones, and it's Snickers with a touch of apple. I think we have at the minute. So if you're having this, you're listening to this over your morning coffee, enjoy it. If it's your Diet Coke break, again, not an advert, enjoy that. If it's your herbal tea break, we'll be more general with that, enjoy it. And if you're out for an evening walk, good on you. Get moving, move more, feel better. That's not the reason, that's not the whole idea of this podcast. But today we're talking about planning you and your team, and you're going to see growth. I wanted to dedicate this to Gemma, who was my previous PA, who had to stop work because she was unwell in 2020, February, just as lockdown hit. And yeah, sadly she passed away last year in 2021, which I actually still can't believe. I still can't actually believe it comes out of my mouth when I say it. I really can't. I still hear her laugh. I see her smile. She was so supportive and she was a great organiser. Currently as well, Sharon, who works for me, is an amazing organiser. And when we had our January review, the one thing that she said that she loved was that it was organised, which is just like heaven for her. I don't know why my business was so disorganised. I can't really pinpoint it. But is it a level of contentment maybe? Or is it because when we're a creative and we're on our own and we're building a business, you are, and this is not new to you, okay? If you're building a business, you're going to just be like, you're pointing out the obvious, but let's go through them. You're the creator. You are the manager. You are the outputter. You're putting it out in social media. You're putting out your mail list. You're contacting customers face to face. You're contacting them via phone, via email. You are the believer. You're the one who believes constantly and has to believe. You're the one to pick up the pieces when it's failing. You're the one who's to pay for everything. You're the one who looks at the end of the month and thinks, can I take a wage out of this after all the outgoings? So organisation is maybe not at the very core of where you are. This is not about organising, this is about planning. And when you plan, you can breathe a bit more. You really can, you really can. And I know that this the year of this for me, 2020, is deeper connections. I want a deeper connection with my respiratory system. I do. If you've listened for a while, you'll know I have a heart defect. I also had COVID. I don't have long COVID. I hear people say they've got long COVID, but apparently long COVID, like you have to be 9 months after it. So if you had COVID last month, you don't have long COVID. You just still have the after effect, apparently, according to medics. But I mean in a real, a calmer level. I want to be able to breathe. I want to be able to see the wood for the trees whenever I get myself really stressed out about stuff in work. And that can only happen when you plan and you have a little bit of, so yes, it's on the organisation skill, but I don't mean have a filing system and pull the file out and look for the little tab that has the right thing on it. I mean looking at your year. And you know, you might only be a year in And you might think, this is only the second time I've ever marketed Valentine's Day. I'm not massive in Hallmark holidays, but what I do say to my mentoring students is they're there for a reason. Would you not rather your customers, someone has your stuff than they have something out of IKEA? And again, not an advert, not that that's a very nice advert for IKEA, but your competitor. And also, I'm not saying that anybody is a competitor with IKEA, but I just mean, somebody might choose the cheaper, crappier option instead of yours. And why not have your stuff there? Or why not just think of one post, which is about love? Because it doesn't have to be about romantic love. It can be, I don't know, self-love. It can be love for life, love for traveling. Like you can own it. So when you're coming into your second year of Valentine's Day, you can look at it and think, well, was that good for me? Was it not? What could I do better? And when you plan, then it means that you have structure and you will see growth. For me, what has been good is we have planned our workshops in advance. So again, being a creative, you will understand. I had another creative in there recently who is going to use my studio for workshops. And we were both agreeing, and I knew they were shy about saying to me that, tickets don't always sell. But that's not news to me. We don't share the failures, or I do. Of course, I share the failures. I don't mind sharing them here. I don't mind sharing them in social. I think life is made up of failures, and that's what I'm trying to tell my kids, especially with them looming and, changing schools and everything and doing exams. But it's not, when you have a workshop booked, and especially with COVID, and I mentioned this in a few episodes ago, it's like you run the risk of people not coming. You run the risk of people getting COVID at your workshop. You run the risk of people not turning up to your workshop, so then they take a space in the next one. So then you lose a space, you lose the money of the next one. But I still have a lot of massive bills to pay for overheads, for materials. All of these workshops that you plan can fall to crap, really. And then where are you? So I know what it feels like when you don't want to plan, because it's safer. It's safer not to plan, isn't it? It's safer just to kind of roll with the punches and roll each day and kind of think, well, if it turns up, it turns up. But I'm not telling you to plan workshops, but you might have an equivalent of that. Plan meetings. Why not? What have you got to lose? Plan face-to-face if you can with your customers. Plan what it is you want to do for the summer months, what content you want to make, what your theme is. Plan travel. You can travel for work. Plan it so that you've something to look forward to. You've something that will inspire you. We've been talking about intention. We've been talking about attention. Travel, even if it's just in your car, to the next state or to the next county if you're in Ireland, that, or in England, anywhere, that still is work that is valuable, and it really should be. It should be planned. Like, look, I cannot plan everything to a T. So what I mean by that is, let's use the workshop example again. I can't get my head around every single detail. So with a kids workshop, I'll have a theme and then they'll have a take-home craft. But if it's too far in advance, I just can't get my head around that. So it doesn't need to be every minute little tiny detail, but it does need to be there. And when you open your calendar, don't be overwhelmed. I used to be overwhelmed by that. And I remember whenever Gemma joined, she was putting things in the calendar and I thought, oh my goodness, what is this? I can't do it. Because it wasn't like exciting, it was scary. It wasn't like going out for dinner with my friends. It was like, no, I'm going to have to actually show up at that. I'm going to have to be my creative self. But like I mentioned in the last one, when your attention goes on that, the universe, the world, faith, God will show up for you. And if, I don't mean bums on seats, I mean they'll show up in that you're going to be okay. If you have to change it, if you have to shift it, if it's not it doesn't feel right, it'll be okay, because you did it. Honestly, you did it. It is so apparent to me that my dad was 47 when he died, and Gemma was 35, my cousin was 41, and I know this seems really very morbid, but there are times you've just got to think, if that was me, everything changes in a flash. If I was diagnosed, I'm seeing my cardiologist coming up, if they tell me, because I'm training for a marathon, and I like to say it on here, I'm trying not to say it too much because I still see myself pulling out, but I feel like if they tell me I can't do it, then that's life. Life will just be different. Life will be very different, right? If I have to get my valve replaced on when, really, it's just a matter of when. But even a bigger diagnosis than that, if there's something that comes up, will I? Like, this seems does it seem far-fetched? No, it doesn't. This is kind of maybe what someone hopefully needs to hear today. If I'm on my deathbed and I look back and think, yeah, I pulled the plug on every one of those planned sessions. I took everything out of the diary because I was too scared of my business. So my business didn't grow because I sat still. I feel great about it. I don't think I'm going to say that. I think I'm going to be like, why did I not bother? For me, I had to cancel a meeting, postpone it with customers, and they're coming back. They'll be back because it's for a commission, but I'm already like, I was so built up for that. I was so ready for that. And then, darn it, like that didn't work out. But it's fine. That sometimes things don't work out, which is not on your watch. So today, have a think about what it is you want. Plan exciting things. Plan collaborations with other artists. Plan making a podcast. Plan a YouTube channel. Plan your social media. Even that is really cool to do. We are planning for the MailChimp to work with the blog posts, to work with the school stuff that I'm doing, to work with the theme that I'm talking about at the minute, which is feels like home. Once you put it out there, put it down, plan it, plan your year, plan your month, plan your day. Even if you plan your day and your team plan your day, you will see growth. You will, because your focus and your intention and your attention are on the task at hand. And they can see the task in the foreground. They can see it away in the background, at the back of the diary. But when you're out, you'll be thinking, oh, I need to get those materials for such and such a date. Or, oh, I need to make sure that I've got my suit ready for that speech on such and such a date. You can do it. I'm here to tell you can do it. Thank you for listening. It is lovely to be able to share some of these very excitable notions that I have. It is great that you give me your attention and your time. I want you today, if you do nothing else, write down the next 3 things that you want to do in your business. Whether that's just like you need to cut paper for your next task tomorrow, or you need to make sure that your mic is charged up, do it. Put it in the diary. Get it down. Believe in yourself. Keep going at whatever it is that you are striving for. This is How to Build a Creative Business. I'm Ali Hart, and you can check out my mentoring program, my workshops, my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe so you get my weekly podcast in your ears. Thanks for listening. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for taking the time to listen. And if you want to check out more of my paintings, I would love you to do so. You can check out alihart.com. There's so much more on my website. There's my YouTube channel. And if you really are serious about building your creative practice, then my mentorship program is only 4 weeks long, and it's a really good foundation to set you up no matter what stage you're at for projecting forward so that you can be the successful creative that you're intended to be. Either way, have a great day, and thanks again for giving me your time.